The antique shop was a labyrinth of forgotten treasures, a dusty tomb of forgotten dreams. The air hung heavy with the scent of aged wood and mothballs, the dim light filtering through grimy windows casting long, unsettling shadows. Anna, drawn by a strange compulsion, found herself drawn to a tarnished, ornate mirror tucked away in a corner. It was unlike any she had ever seen, its silvered surface marred by streaks of black that seemed to writhe like living things. She bought it impulsively, the price a mere pittance. Back at her apartment, she cleaned the mirror, the black streaks revealing themselves to be intricate, almost sinister etchings. Sinister occurrences began shortly after. The first was a flicker, a fleeting distortion in the reflection. Anna dismissed it as her imagination, but the distortions grew more pronounced, faces appearing and disappearing in the mirror's depths, their expressions contorted in silent screams. One night, Anna woke to the sound of her name being whispered. It seemed to come from the mirror, the voice low and guttural, like a voice from the grave. She saw a figure in the reflection, a dark silhouette that shifted and twisted, its features impossible to discern. Panic seized her, she smashed the mirror, the shards scattering across the floor like shattered glass teeth. But the horror didn't end. The images started appearing in other mirrors, the faces contorting, their eyes burning with a malevolent light. They seemed to be watching her, taunting her, their whispers growing louder, more insistent. She tried to escape, moving from apartment to apartment, but the faces followed, their presence inescapable. She found herself drawn to a small, unassuming antique shop, a place she hadn't been before. The owner, a wizened old man with eyes like dark pools, greeted her with a knowing smile. He recognized the fear in her eyes, the desperation in her voice. "They're everywhere, aren't they?" His raspy voice sounds like dry leaves rustling. "They've been watching you, haven't they?" Anna, her voice trembling, confirmed his suspicions. The old man nodded, his eyes never leaving hers. "They feed on fear," he said, his words measured, each one a whisper on the wind. "They are reflections, but not of the world you see. They are reflections of your deepest fears, the ones you try to bury, the ones you refuse to confront." He spoke of a ritual, a way to break the curse, but it was a dangerous one. It involved confronting her deepest fears, facing the darkness within her own soul. She had to find the mirror, the original mirror, the one that started it all, and destroy it. The old man led her to a back room, a dusty, cobweb-laden place that felt like a tomb. In the center stood a massive, ornately carved mirror, its surface obscured by a thick layer of dust. "This is the source," the old man said, his voice barely a breath. "The others will disappear if you destroy it." Anna, her heart pounding, reached out to the mirror. The dust swirled around her, revealing a face in the mirror's depths. It was her own face, but distorted, twisted, her eyes burning with a cold, malevolent light. The fear she had been running from, the fear she had tried to bury deep within, rose to the surface. It was a fear of herself, of the darkness that lurked within her soul. She saw her own anger, her own rage, her own capacity for cruelty, reflected back at her. The face in the mirror smiled, a chilling, unnerving smile. Anna, trembling, realized the old man was right. These were not just reflections of her deepest fears, but reflections of her own darkness. She had to confront it, to face the monster within. She closed her eyes, took a deep breath, and smashed the mirror. The room filled with a deafening clang, the air thick with the scent of dust and broken glass. The mirror shattered, its shards falling like a rain of black glass. Suddenly, the faces in the other mirrors disappeared. The whispers ceased, the haunting presence vanished. Anna, exhausted but relieved, looked at the old man. "Thank you," her hoarse voice whispered. The old man simply nodded, his eyes filled with a strange, unsettling knowing. Anna left the shop, the weight of her fear lifted, but she knew that the darkness she had faced would always be a part of her. The faces, the whispers, they were gone, but the reflection remained, a constant reminder of the darkness that lurked within us all.